So it finished last night at St James's Park. Newcastle United 1, Aston Villa 1. And to be honest, it was 2 points dropped for me. It was a game we really needed to win. We didn't, and we ended up just taking 1 point in the last few seconds of the game, which was incredible, really, because we went 1-0 down towards the end of the game, and you're thinking, that's it. It's no points. Bruce is fired, and then Lascelles goes and saves the day. But for me, it's 2 points dropped. So let's have a look at a brief review of the game and also the player ratings. This is the Toon Review. Hi everybody, my name is Paul and welcome back again to another video. Today just reviewing and player ratings from last night's game between Newcastle and Villa. And like I said in the intro there, I think it was a 2 points drop for us. It was a game that we needed to win and we didn't. And we end up again looking like we're in serious relegation trouble. Depending on results this weekend, we could find ourselves in the bottom three by Monday night, which would be absolutely incredible. But looking back on the game, the starting lineup for me is where the problems all lie. We didn't look like we had a team that was going out there to destroy Aston Villa or try to destroy them or get some goals. It was very defensively minded as well. And for me, Steve Bruce is just this typical defensive manager who doesn't want to do anything but get a point out of the game. He'd rather set them up not to lose than win the game when we are desperately trying to get 3 points on the board. And that's what really annoyed me yesterday. However, let's have a look at the starting lineup. So we played Dubravka, we went with Kraft at right back, we went Dummett left back, we went Lascelles and Clark as central defenders, which was typical really. We went with the same midfield again of Hayden, Shelvey and Willock, and the three up front was Ryan Fraser, Dwight Gale and Joe Linton. However, it didn't work out like that because he plays Dwight Gale on the left. On the left. What is that all about? What is that all about? I mean, he's the only striker on the pitch, so he plays him on the left. Dwight Gale is never going to succeed out wide. He tried it against Chelsea when he played him on the right-hand side. That didn't work either, and he was left with egg on his face. But did he learn from it? Did he bollocks? He goes and plays him again on the wing. It doesn't work. Dwight Gale is not a winger and shouldn't play there. So, you know, the game itself was very interesting, you know, boringly interesting, actually. Joe Linton really should have scored for Newcastle a hatful of times. He just will not pull the trigger, and I do not know why that is. You know, it's all right saying, oh, we have plenty of possession, or even Joe Linton had plenty of possession. It's what you do with the football. Now, don't get me wrong. I thought Joe Linton was one of our strongest players last night. You know, getting the ball, running at defenders, controlling it, leading, you know, starting attacks off. I think he did fairly well. But he hasn't got an end product, and whether that's confidence or whether that's something else, I don't know. But it was really, really poor finishing. He always tries to pull the ball back instead of just guiding the, you know, shooting the ball or guiding it into the net. He doesn't do anything like that. He panics when he gets into the box, and that showed again last night. Villa, well, they were very average, I have to say. You know, let's be fair to them. A lot of their fans came on my show last night and actually said how poor they were. So when you look at that, you think, Christ, this is 3 points lost for Newcastle. It really is. And we are in the same predicament. We're stuck in the near the relegation zone, and we're in big, big trouble. And I don't see a way out at the minute. I don't see where the goals are coming from. And that's the problem here, is goals. You know, we can have all the possession we want in the world, but if we don't score goals when we're in that possession. I mean, Paul Dummett put some lovely crosses in yesterday, and we just didn't have anyone on the end of them. And we got punished by Villa late on in the game. Cross comes in, Ollie Watkins gets ahead to it, it comes off Kieran Clark's knee and flies into the net. And at that time, everybody's thinking, that's it, we've lost this game. What is the future of Steve Bruce going to be now? And then obviously, last minute of the game, Jacob Murphy whips a beautiful ball in, and a brilliant header from Lascelles rescues a point for Newcastle. Whether we deserved it or not, it doesn't matter. For me, it's 2 points dropped, and you know, like I said in the intro there, depending on the results this weekend, we could find ourselves in the bottom three, which would be absolutely criminal. And I don't see a way out. I really don't. So it finished 1-1. So let's have a look at the player ratings. We'll start off with the goalkeeper, Martin Dubravka. Again, he seems to be getting stronger every game, more confident every game. And for me, he had a sound game yesterday, so I'm going to give Martin Dubravka a 7. A right back was Emil Kraft, very uninspiring again. He did come off in the second half, but whether that was an injury or not, I don't know. But for me, he shouldn't have started the game, because if Manquillo was fit, Manquillo should have started. End of story. But he didn't start with Manquillo. He went with Emil Kraft, but again, like I say, very uninspiring. So I'm going to give Emil Kraft a 4. Moving across to left back, Paul Dummett. We've missed him badly this season, haven't we? I mean, everybody says that, we needed a left back, and Paul Dummett is just Mr. Reliable. Brilliant tackler. Very rarely mistimes a tackle, always seems to win the ball, and he put some brilliant crosses in yesterday, and I've been very, very critical of Dummett in the past for not being that left back to get down the left-hand side and whip some balls in. But especially first half, he put some beauties in, and there was just nobody there to convert them. So an all-round sound performance from Paul Dummett. He gets a 7 from me. Moving into the central defence, Kieran Clark, again, threw himself in front of everything that he had to throw himself in front of, and Villa didn't really put us under a lot of pressure yesterday, which was bizarre considering the amount of attacking talent they've got. But, they didn't play very well. But what Kieran Clark had to do, he did, and he did it very well. So I'm going to give Kieran Clark a 6. And moving on to his partner, our captain Jamal Lascelles, a sound game from him, a lot better than he's been in recent games, I have to say. I was pretty happy with Lascelles' performance and the fact that he got the goal. So I'm going to give Jamal Lascelles a 7. If we move into the midfield, we've got Jonjo Shelvey. Very disappointing. Very, very disappointing from Shelvey, especially the first half. The amount of times he gave the ball away was criminal yesterday. Just going back to his old lazy ways. Wasn't really getting stuck in. He was, rooted to the spot when the ball was near him, and he'd sort of kick his leg out as if to say, I've tried to get it, but I missed it. And not really tracking back enough. So it's a 5 for Jonjo Shelvey. His partner, Isaac Hayden, again, I'm not sure whether Isaac Hayden's injured, to be honest. Personally, I think he is. I think there's an injury going on there somewhere, and that needs addressing. But, he plucks away, he keeps going. But he did come off yesterday for at the end of the day. But I think, he was injured. He's been injured for a few games. That's my belief. It's a 5 for Isaac Hayden. Now, if we move to Joe Willock, I thought Joe Willock had one of his better performances yesterday. Great engine on him. Great getting up and down the pitch. He was helping out in defence. He was getting forward. And I think that was a lot better from Joe Willock. So he gets a 7 from me. Moving on to the front three, we'll start off with Ryan Fraser. Made some good runs. He's lost in that number 10 role. I don't know why on earth Steve Bruce played him there. Completely lost. Didn't really have any kind of impact on the game. He had a shot in the first half, maybe from about 25 yards, which went straight into the goalkeeper's hands. Nothing really than that. But again, played out of position, so what can you say? But he gets a 5. Dwight Gale, uninspiring again. Nothing from Dwight Gale to threaten the goal. Even when he did keep swapping with Fraser the odd time and he went through the middle, he just offered us nothing. Very, very powder puff performance from him. No real strikes on goal. And it's a 4 for Dwight Gale. Joe Linton, hats off to the man. I've criticised him all season. I've been really critical of him, actually. But, I've always said that I will praise players when they need to be praised. And I thought he did well yesterday. He worked very hard. He battled hard and he kept going. And for me, that was the main thing with Joe Linton. He kept going, but it's his finishing product. And if that could only be improved, I think we could see a different player. He gets into the box, he's in good shooting positions, and he doesn't let the shot go. And that is the disappointing thing about Joe Linton. But his work rate overall yesterday was fantastic. He kept going. He gets an 8, and my man of the match. It may shock a lot of people, but that's the way I saw it. Onto the substitutes, we had Jacob Murphy come on. Again, he came on for Fraser, and I think he changed the game for me when Jacob Murphy came on. He was very, very good. Put a few good crosses in before he actually crossed the ball for Lascelles as equaliser. And the thing is with Jacob Murphy is he always has a go, doesn't he? He'll always try and take somebody on, or he'll always try a shot. Now, it doesn't matter whether it goes 60 foot over the bar. The next time he gets it, he'll try again. And that's the thing I really, really like about Jacob Murphy, is that he keeps going and does not stop. So Jacob Murphy gets an 8 from me as well. Next substitution was Manquillo for Emil Kraft. Bit of a strange one for me because I think Manquillo should have been on the pitch from the off yesterday. He wasn't. However, you know, Manquillo came on for the last 10 minutes or so, and I think he'll be involved at Brighton. But he didn't really make an impact, didn't have time to make an impact. So a straight down the line 6 for Javier Manquillo. Now on to Andy Carroll. He came on for Isaac Hayden once Aston Villa had scored. Again, not really time to get into the game, but he did make a difference. He did cause a lot of trouble. You know, before the equaliser, we were putting a few crosses in, difficult crosses for the goalkeeper and defenders to handle, so he made a nuisance of himself, definitely. And I think for the goal, you know, when Jacob Murphy crossed it, they were more bothered about where Andy Carroll was than actually where our captain was, Jamal Lascelles, and that enabled Lascelles to get a bit more space, and he had the opportunity to get the equaliser, which was fantastic. Now, if we move on to the manager, Steve Bruce. Sorry, I'll give Carroll a straight down the line 6 as well. If we move on to manager, Steve Bruce, terrible team selection for me. Not giving the fans any real aspirations that he's going to win the game. Very, very defensive setup, as Steve Bruce normally does, to be fair. The substitutions, I think he waited far too long again, which has been a problem for Steve Bruce for a long, long time. And, you know, it came to bite him in the arse again yesterday. So for me, Steve Bruce, you get a 3. And, you know, it's got to be improved. You know, this man doesn't deserve to be Newcastle United manager as far as I'm concerned. But we all know that he's probably going to be in charge against Brighton. But if we lose that, then things could be very different. So there you go, guys. There's my brief review of the game. Obviously, I did the live match reaction last night, which I had a wonderful, wonderful reaction to. Fantastic viewing figures. So thank you very much again for joining me on that. Let me know in the comments what you think of my player ratings. Would you score the players any different? I do try and answer as many comments as I can, so I'm very interested to know what you guys would actually score the players. Apart from that, that's it. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the weekend, or try to, without trying to think too much of Newcastle United. I will be back on Monday night, of course, with the Four Horsemen of the Toon live at 8 p.m. So don't forget to set a reminder. It's on YouTube now. Set the reminders, and we'll see you on Monday night. But in the meantime, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend as best you can. Stay safe out there. Take care. Be strong. Be strong.